Welcome back, everyone, to Indie Life Adventures special segment this past 10 days because the D of Indie Life Adventures is gathered here with the other D for daughter as we explore Costa Rica on our one-on-one mother-daughter trip to Costa Rica.
I really like this new intro. Yes, we are. We are at the conclusion of our mother-daughter trip to Costa Rica. And today we're going to tell you about day 8 and day 9.
Incidentally, that is today and yesterday.
That is today and yesterday. And you may recognize this space we're in.
If you're an avid viewer, you may realize that we just finished our last video.
Yes.
But if you're not an avid viewer, we will keep that secret.
Yes, we are in the yoga room of the Art Hostel, so it's not a secret anymore. We're in San Jose and we fly out tomorrow. But first, we'll tell you all about yesterday and then about today.
Okay, I'll start with the morning yesterday.
Where were we yesterday?
We were in Monteverde at Hostel Monkey.
Yes.
So you have woken up every day this trip at around 4:30 in the morning.
I would say 4:50. I've tried really hard to stay in bed till 5, but I had not yet made it in bed till 5 a.m. I don't know why. It's not that drastic of a time change. It's only a 1 hour time change.
I believe it's 2 for you.
Is it 2? Oh, you're right. It is a 2-hour time change. I don't know what it is, but I've been waking up very, very early. So there's never been any need to set an alarm, even when we have a adventure planned where the shuttle bus is going to pick us up at 8 in the morning. No need for an alarm. I've been getting up before 5.
Except for this day because you wake up bright and early at 8:06.
I woke up at 8:06. And funny story though, I probably woke up actually right at 8, but I didn't have my glasses on. And so I'm looking at my phone and to me, it looks like it was 6 a.m. So I'm like, all right, that's normal. I got to sleep in an hour extra. And then I put on my glasses and it said 8:06. And our shuttle bus driver is picking us up at 8. And I hop up out of bed and I walk out of our 4-man room up to the reception area at the exact same time the shuttle bus driver is coming in looking for Dorothy. And I'm like, I'll be 1 minute. And I ran down, woke you up. We grabbed our bags and jumped in this shuttle bus, which was cram-packed,
Full of people waiting for
of
us.
other people waiting for us. And where were we going?
We were going to, what is it called?
Selvatura.
Selvatura, which we, as the bougie travelers we are, splurged on an all-day package at Selvatura. So we spent, and since we got there until 4:30,
Yes.
doing everything they had to offer.
Every single thing they had to offer. Yes. Including going to the restaurant twice.
Yes, which we started with.
We did, because we got there. The shuttle bus picked us up at 8:06, and so we're arriving at 8:30, get our tickets to all the things we're going to do. And everybody, the first thing they do when they get there, well, should we tell them what all we're going to do there? What all our tickets are for? Or no?
No, suspense.
Suspense. We aren't even going to tell you. But everybody gets in line to do the things. And I'm like, you know what? I bet the restaurant is empty right now and we can go have some coffee. And it was. There was only one other person in the restaurant and we got a delightful latte. Mm-hmm. And did you get a frozen drink or an iced drink?
No, I got a hot vanilla.
A hot vanilla latte.
Latte.
It was so nice and delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there we started our first tour because our first event started at 9:15.
Okay, yes, it
Yes,
did.
9:15.
So this was a guided tour through 3 different exhibitions that this place offered. And it was back to back, and it was about 30 minutes in each one. The first one was at a sloth kind of rescue center for sloths that have been through some unfortunate events. So they ended up here and for our viewing pleasure.
They were so close. Because even though we've seen sloths on this trip, they've all been from a far distance where you have to look through the spotting scope to really see them. These sloths were so close you could practically reach out and touch them. If it wasn't forbidden, you cannot touch them.
We should make that clear.
You do not get to hold them, touch them, or anything. You look at them. You can photograph them.
And look at them. They're very nice to look at, but they're not. Even if you wanted to touch them, you might get mauled.
Mauled, yes. But there were 12 in this rescue center, all females. And I don't think we saw all 12, but we saw a lot.
A lot of them, because there was like a group of 3, a group of 2, and then we saw a bunch.
Yes, and they explained that they do not usually socialize at all with each other out in the wild, but since this was such a contained facility, there have been a couple of the girls who kind of hang out together. And these sloths can never be released back into the wild. Their injuries are of a nature that they would not make it on their own, so they will spend their life in captivity. Which brings up another point. Costa Rica is so adamant about animal welfare that zoos are not allowed in this country. Yeah, they had one time had a zoo and there was such an uproar and protest to it that they shut it down. That keeping animals in captivity just to look at them seems inhumane. And so the only ones they have in captivity are as if they've been hurt in the wild and they're nursing them back to health or something like that. Like a sanctuary, yeah. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
What happened after the sloth tour?
We then went to a butterfly garden.
Yes, and we had the same tour guide for all 3 of these exhibits. I'm trying to remember his name.
Jose.
Yes, he was an excellent tour guide. And I learned so much more about butterflies than I ever knew before.
Yeah, I learned so much about butterflies.
Yes. Can you think of one thing you learned?
Yes, I can think of one.
Would you like to share with our Indie Life Adventure viewers?
So they go through 4 stages of life, which we were thinking, 3, but we weren't thinking.
We forgot about the egg.
When they are in their cocoon, okay, this is mind-blowing. It's a caterpillar. It turns into a cocoon. They liquefy. The inside of the cocoon, well, the cocoon is made of keratin. And then the caterpillar liquefies and then turns into a butterfly from the liquid. Like, it is wild. But the inside of a cocoon is liquid.
Yes. For some part of the stage, it liquefies. Unbelievable. Yeah.
That's the most wild thing I think I learned.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And the other just fascinating thing was how many cocoons were around that you couldn't see because they were camouflaged. They just looked like dead leaves and they were cocoons. No, those were caterpillars. You're right. The caterpillars looked like dead leaves.
Hanging off the end like it was...
Yeah, like off the center of a leaf, like right where a dead spot would be. It was really remarkable. And they just had many different types of butterflies, many exhibits with all the different stages of the cocoons. I thought it was a great exhibit. I learned a lot. Jose was an excellent guide.
Yes.
And then where did we go?
To the reptile and amphibian exhibit.
Yes.
Where we saw snakes.
Pit vipers, lots of pit vipers.
A Jesus Christ lizard.
Yeah. I don't know its technical name, but that's what they call it because it can run across the water, the surface of the water.
And
lots of frogs. Oh, and the poisonous frogs were so beautiful. They just had such vibrant colors.
The green and black ones.
It's hard to believe those really exist. I remember when I was a kid, my dad always had these, they were thick rectangle books with pictures of frogs and snakes. And I remember seeing vibrant colored frogs in there, but this is like the first time in real life to see such colorful, beautiful frogs. Especially like that neon green one.
Do you think they're the most beautiful frogs in the world?
No, the most beautiful frogs in the world we saw at Bogarin Trail.
The red-eyed tree frog.
Yeah, that was the most beautiful frog.
It was really cool to see that one in the wild because this was cool and all, but it doesn't beat seeing
Yeah, because these were in containers or aquariums or terrariums.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did those 3 tours to kind of, we wanted to ease into the day. Because we had had such an adrenaline rush of oversleeping and just having to grab our stuff and go, we thought, why not start our activities with the calmest and work up to the most exhilarating?
After our 3 guided exhibition tours, we then went on the hanging bridges. We walked on the hanging bridges.
Yes, we did the hanging bridges, which had a lot of trails between the hanging bridges. And since we had just learned so much about all these animals, we took our sweet time between each hanging bridge to look for cocoons and frogs and just trying to spot the wildlife along the way. And we did pretty good at it. We saw a millipede, we saw butterflies, snails, tiny little mushrooms. Like there was like a whole mushroom village just on one leaf. I felt like we were genuinely appreciating nature on this walk.
Yes, I believe our first mile of the walk took about 50 minutes.
Yeah, 50 minutes for the first mile.
And then, but we did, me specifically, I started to go a bit faster the more we went because I didn't want to miss our next activity.
Yes, because the next activity had a very specific start time. So we couldn't take all day long. And plus, there's only so long you can meticulously go that slow. So yeah, we enjoyed the hanging bridges. It was kind of cool. The last time you were on a hanging bridge, you were 2 years old. So now that you're 19, what do you think of the hanging bridges?
It's not your average bridge.
No. They were more substantial than like an Indiana Jones bridge. It's not rickety by any means. Like it's metal, very stable, but it still sways. And the part I really was surprised by is how few people were on the trail. Because we're doing this trail now probably between the hours of, did we eat lunch? We ate lunch after the exhibits and before the hanging bridge.
Yeah.
So it's probably like 12:30 to 2 o'clock that we're doing. And there was nobody else. Like only a couple people passed us because we were going quite slow. But it felt like we just had the place to ourselves.
What you said about Indiana Jones kind of made me have a thought that that's what I was expecting.
Oh, you were expecting Indiana Jones type bridges?
Yes.
Oh, were you disappointed to then have them be a bit more substantial?
Now that I think about it, I was a little.
Yeah, they weren't that scary.
It wasn't scary.
Yeah. So you need a little more. Maybe we should have went to a lower budget hanging bridge place just to get a little danger in the mix. Because there was no danger on these hanging bridges. You were very safe.
The next activity was quite thrilling, though.
Oh yes. Well, tell us, what is the last part of our all-day package at Selvatura?
We went on 13 different zip lines.
Yes, we zip lined through the clouds.
Through the cloud forest.
Through the cloud forest and through clouds, literally through clouds.
One of them was 1 kilometer long.
Yes, that we got to go tandem where we both were connected together on that zip line, and it was over 1 kilometer long.
And we went how many speed?
Oh shucks, I don't even remember.
I believe it was 44.
I had tracked our path on my Garmin because I was so curious at what speed we were going to go. So I'll put a little blurb telling you our max speed on the zip lines. I was surprised by it. What was the best part of the zip line?
Well, I really enjoyed witnessing the excitement of the little kid that was doing it with us.
Oh, yes, there was
Maybe 9 or 10 years old.
I thought younger than that. I honestly would have guessed she was maybe 7 or 8. You think 9 or 10?
Yeah, I'm sticking with it.
Okay. She was small.
Yeah.
And she was not scared at all.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Not the least bit scared.
And I think she was having the most fun.
Yeah, she did seem to just be embracing every moment of it. No, she did amazing. And she ziplined alone. And then on the tandem ones, a guide would be paired with her while her parents were together. So it was really cool to watch her.
I enjoyed how terrifying it was. And then we would get to the end and the person that was there to see us off was like, "Hola," and I was just like, "Hola," and once I got on the platform, I was completely chill, but it's like a second ago I was terrified, so there was a juxtaposition.
Indeed.
And I enjoyed looking over the trees and going through clouds and just thinking like, holy moly, like, goodness gracious, this is awesome.
Because we were way up there.
Yeah.
So high up. Like, it is impressive that they have created this adventure. And what's even more impressive to me is that they did it without harming the trees. Like, the cables that are around the base of the tree, the trunk of the tree, they use big wooden blocks to where the cable doesn't come in contact with the trunk. I was just impressed by that.
And that's all we did.
What about the Tarzan swing?
We did a Tarzan swing. It was really scary.
That was my favorite part.
It was the scariest part.
It was so exhilarating.
It was.
And I had done this the last time I was here, so I was a little bit more brave than I was the first time, because the first time I was a total chicken. This time I knew it was going to be great. Like, it's hard to just get off the platform, but I mean, it's just the biggest swing ever.
I screamed louder than anyone else screamed.
Yeah, maybe. I might have rivaled you. Maybe not. It was great. And you went first on that between the two of us. You decided to do it first. But it was great. It was such a wonderful way to conclude the day, because you did the Tarzan swing and then you do the final zip line, and then that concludes our all-day package. So I remember when we booked this, they had recommended we start with the zip lines, but I think the order we did it in is the perfect order, because we built up to that exhilarating moment. Because it almost feels like if we'd have started with that exhilarated moment, that the hanging bridges may not have felt as wonderful, because it's not as exciting.
I suppose I could see that.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was really good.
By the time we got to the zip lines, I was really tired.
Oh, that's true. You were really tired.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part. It was kind of odd. Tessa's like almost like taking a cat nap on my shoulder between each of the zip lines. It's like, what's going on here? So when you bring up that point, maybe we should have done it first.
If you're prone to being tired, maybe do it before you walk like 2.5 miles.
Twice. Did we do 2.5 miles? Oh, I'm mixing up the night hike the night before and then this. We've done a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Which now brings us to our final day, day 9. Because that was day 8. Was there anything else to say about day 8?
Yeah, there was something that I had seen in a gift shop the day prior that...
Oh, that's right. Because once we finished at Selvatura and got the shuttle back to Monteverde, Tessa was on a quest.
I had seen a package of old Costa Rican stamps.
Postage stamps.
And when sometime in the night, like after we had done all the shopping, I was like, wait a minute, I do need those. But we didn't remember where they were. So first we had eaten dinner at the Treehouse restaurant. And then we walked the entire triangle. We didn't find them. We walked up to a little additional like strip of stores. We didn't find them. We walked back down and we found them in a store directly across from the Treehouse restaurant that we started at.
It was funny. It was the closest store because we were at the Treehouse restaurant looking out the window, and I'm like, okay, it's time to go find these stamps. And if we would have just went directly to the store right outside the window, we would have found them. That we were staring at, we would have found them. But instead, we went to every other store, down the hill, back up the hill, around the square, and finally found them there. And why did you want to find the postage stamp so bad?
Because well, first of all, they're really cool. And also, I thought it would have been a cool commemorative tattoo. So the one I picked out, I might get it tattooed because I think that postage stamps tattoos are really cool. And to even have the stamp that you're getting tattooed is really cool. And for it to be commemorative of this wonderful trip is really cool.
Yeah, I think that's a really neat idea. And I do like the one you picked out. So no pressure to actually go through with the tattoo. But it was fun to go hunt down the postage stamp and choose the one that you would get if you were to get it. Excellent. So that then concludes day 8.
And leads us to today.
And leads us to today, our very last full day in Costa Rica. And what do you have to say about today?
I enjoyed how chill it was today.
Yes?
Because we have been on the go this entire time.
Yes.
And I have been really worn out these past couple of days.
Yeah. Your endurance has waned a little bit.
Yeah, call back to me wanting to take a nap in between the zip lines.
Yes.
My endurance has been weaning. And today I got to sleep in until, I don't know.
There were only 2 main events for today. One was scheduled at 11 and one was scheduled at 2:30. So I let you sleep I had to then wake you up by 10. That way you could eat some breakfast and get all your stuff packed because we had to check out by 11. And we were also getting picked up at 11 for the very last item on Tessa's list that she wanted to do while we were here in Costa Rica.
Which is to get a massage.
Yes. I didn't know when we were going to be able to squeeze it in, but we did. We got it today, and they picked us up, and I didn't know what to expect, really. But what did you think of the venue where we got this massage?
It was a beautiful venue. I recommend this venue. It's a great view. It was great.
Yeah, it was like this reception area with like all the good smell good stuff and the nice ambient sounds, and you're overlooking Monteverde, and then they're like, okay, your massage room is upstairs, and you go up the stairs and you're outside, and there's this, I don't even know what you call it. I mean, it's a dome.
I would call it a dome.
You'd call it a dome. It was like a canvas dome tent, almost like what you imagine for glamping. I could see those being used in glamping.
Is that glam camping?
Yes.
Okay.
Couldn't you totally see that being glamping tent? It was like just this dome tent with 2 massage tables in it. And then the windows were, could you see through them? I can't even remember now. Yeah, you could see through them out onto the city. It was just beautiful. And the whole time you're getting your massage, you can hear all the birds outside. I mean, it was amazing.
It was amazing.
It was such a good location. And so it was a mother and a daughter massaging a mother and a daughter. And so, we were able to get our massage. Anything else to add about that?
The masseuse asked you if you played sports.
Oh, she did. I was flattered. She said I looked very strong. And so that was
very strong.
That made me happy.
And it was a little intense for me.
The pressure was pretty. They even asked like what kind of pressure, and we wanted medium. We said medium.
Maybe on the scale, maybe medium was too high for us.
Yeah, there were some times it was a little painful, but I kept thinking the pain will make me feel better later. Like they were working some kinks out or something. But yeah. But overall, I loved it. There was only one negative I can think of personally. And it was because we got the massage and then our bus to get to San Jose was at 2:30. And I wish I would have given myself time or had thought about taking a shower in between getting the massage and getting on the bus, because I was coated in like a lavender coconut oil. I felt like a basted turkey. And then we're getting on a warm city bus to go ride for 4 hours. And I just,
oily.
we were so oily. So my only improve in this matter would have been to take a shower before getting on the bus. But yeah. So, do you want to talk about the bus ride here?
Yeah, it was hot.
It was warm. We could open the windows, but it was a sunny day. The one thing I would say about the bus, I have always rented a car each time I've come to Costa Rica. And I feel like I have missed a significant opportunity to get around by public bus. The bus was comfortable. It was, granted, a little bit warm, but it was not miserable. The only reason it was uncomfortable was because we were coated in oil. But to put it in just a little bit of perspective, in the town of Monteverde, they do not have Ubers, so you use taxis. And for us to get from the massage place back to Hostel Monkey to pick up our bags, which was really maybe 2 kilometers at most, that taxi cab ride was $7. For the bus ticket to go from Monteverde to San Jose, which is a 4-hour drive, the bus ticket was $8 per person. Like, it is extremely inexpensive, comfortable. It was great. And they stopped midway through at a soda where you could use the restroom, buy some snacks. So I feel like in the past, maybe we didn't need a rental car. And Tessa slept on the bus.
I did.
I think I've worn her out. I don't think we could squeeze any more into this trip.
I would die.
But I will say, you selected an amazing hostel for our very last night.
It's extremely nice here.
This is remarkable. We were speaking to a lady that's sharing our room with us. She is from Canada, and she said she's 49, and she said she has stayed in hostels. Like, I don't remember the number she said, but
she said billions.
She didn't say billions.
I think she did.
But she said this is the nicest one, like depending on what you're looking for. And right now we're looking to relax and unwind. It is amazing. They have a beautiful kitchen. Everything is so clean. There are so many different community spots and they all are beautiful. Like, this is the place. Like, I want to bring my mom here. She would love this place. It's like you're in someone's home, someone's beautifully decorated, artistic home. And you couldn't have picked a better spot for our very last day.
Thank you.
And I'm very excited we got to meet Alexa, and she is just starting her Costa Rican travels, so we were able to share so much of our 10 days with her. And our flight tomorrow leaves at like 1 o'clock, so we'll have some time in the morning to let you sleep as late as you want to.
I would like to wake up because I really want to find the place that we went to when we first got here that had very, very good horchata.
Yeah, so we're gonna wake up early for a horchata?
Yeah.
All right, I'll believe it when I see it. But thank you all for following along on our adventure. Stay tuned where Tessa ranks her top 10 favorite events.
I might just rank all of the events, so it might be more than 10.
Yes, because I made a list of all the activities, and if we're including karaoke on that list, we did 14 activities.
Top 14.
You're gonna rank them?
Yeah.
All right, I'm eager. She has not shared with me what she thinks was the best.
I haven't decided them yet.
Okay, well, stay tuned and we will let you know what her recommendations are. So, thanks again.
Thank you.
It's been fun.
Come again next time. Thank you for joining us. Bye.